It's the final home game of the season on a chilly Saturday at Notre Dame Stadium. Senior day for 28 Irish players.
Love you, man. You're the best.
Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. For only the second time in the Brian Kelly era, Notre Dame lost on Senior Day, and it was another 2016 loss where the team played very well at times, and again, well enough to win, but just could not hold on to a lead in the second half, losing to Virginia Tech 34-31. It was a very bittersweet day for senior captain James Onwalu, who made 10 tackles, recorded Notre Dame's only sack, and forced a turnover. Onwalu hopes he has taught the underclassmen some things about what it will take to be successful in the coming seasons.
I hope what guys have learned from me is just to come to work every day and just try to strive to be the best player that you can be. And there's obviously going to be adversity, but that's what makes you great. And sometimes those low moments are what make those great moments and higher moments great. So to push through those times and continue to, like I said, be the best player they can be.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airlines, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
So from 1 yard out, Josh Adams takes it in, and it's an impressive opening drive for the Irish, who take it right down the field for a quick score.
You got off to a great start. March right down the field with 3 completions of 20 yards or more.
Great start, and that's been really one of the things that we've done quite well offensively is gotten off to really good starts. The kids were ready to play. They were excited about the opportunity.
Josh Adams has become very dependable, scores your first touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, physical. Early in the year I thought he looked a little tired, but he's physically at that point now where he can, run through the would-be tacklers and, plays with that physical presence that we all need.
Defense gets you the ball right back, strip sack by James Onwalu.
Yeah, really nice job. We brought some pressure. They were, trying to set up a screen, and, James has been there for us all year. He's been one of our great captains and leader for us and comes up with a big play.
I loved your touchdown because I love this young man, Chris Fink. 31-yard touchdown pass, well thrown, great catch.
Yeah, it was a little play action. We got him matched up on their nickel. Did a nice job of getting inside the nickel, and a nice catch. Chris is coming on for us at that Z receiver position, and here's a kid that earned a scholarship and is going to be a really good player for us.
Later in the quarter, Deshaun Kaiser gains 10 yards, slides, and gets hit helmet to helmet. There was no call, no review.
It's very frustrating that when a player gives himself up, he's not to be hit, but to make matters worse, he was targeted on the play, and it's got to get fixed. We've got to get the officials to do a better job and be accountable for play safety.
What can you do to help that? Because there's another play late in the game. Deshaun has to leave on the second to last play, which on replay appeared to be another potential targeting play, and it wasn't even reviewed again. As a team that feels as if it's been on the short end of these interpretations, can you do anything to change it?
Well, I mean, I think you can have the dialogue in the off season, but clearly there's been too many instances this year where inconsistencies have occurred, and we'll have direct conversations with the league officials, but moreover, I think it nationally has to be addressed, and there has to be a consistency in the replay that they're all on the same page, because it just doesn't seem to be the case.
Virginia Tech gets into the red zone 3 times. Your defense does hold them to 2 field goals, but they do take a 34-31 lead.
Yeah, again, I think if you look at our second half, it is about self-inflicted wounds, false start penalties, the inability to make a catch here or there, and quite frankly, at the end of the game, we had a chance a couple of times to put ourselves in a position to at least tie or win the football game. And as you know, we've been in that situation many times before. And it's not by a lack of effort, but we got to make a couple plays in those situations. And we just haven't been able to make the play necessary to put us over the top.
And now Evans going deep down the middle of the field. It's off of the hands of Phillips and into Drew Tranquils.
Defensively, up until this game, you had been taking strides each week since the first 4 games of the season. What happened in the second half? Where was it just the fact that you're facing a high-powered offense, or did you take a little step back?
No, I don't think we took a step back as much as our matchups. The one-on-one matchups were not favorable matchups for some of our guys. And, I thought they did a good job of isolating our middle linebacker on their fullback who, he looks like a fullback but plays like a slot receiver. They did a good job. They have a talented group of receivers, and they went away from running the football because they weren't having great success running the ball. And they spread us out, got into 5 wides, and said, you know what, let's go one-on-one with some of these young players and our safeties. And, they were able to get some favorable matchups.
But kind of a theme that has been missed, the 3 trips to the red zone, the defense stiffens and forces 2 field goals. Then they get the ball back with 2:51 left.
Yes.
They can run out the clock, but the defense forces them to punt.
And that was a big series for us. Now, they did get the 1 first down, but we were able to manage our timeouts, and we got the ball back. And again, you think in those kinds of situations, I felt like we had a really good chance, to at least get the tying field goal. We're playing a team that knows that we're going to throw it. They're dropping 8 into coverage. We had an opportunity to make a play, and we just couldn't come up with a big play.
The goal is to beat USC this weekend, but to come back next year, how do you turn this around? An amazing year, an incredible year, where you've lost 7 games by a total of 32 points.
Well, you take the first half and you take that football team and you look at it and say, well, that's a pretty good football team. So how do you take that team and get it to play like that for 4 quarters? Well, I think a lot of that can happen in the off-season. It's about the mental and physical toughness that you need. It's about understanding that execution is in everything that you do. When you see that it's in them and they can play at that level, and we saw that for the first half of the game, and we've seen that a number of times during the year, whether it's a quarter here or a quarter there, how do you get your football team to do that for 4 quarters? And that will be the work in the off-season.
When I mention those 3 letters to former players, I can see the color in their face change. Is it a positive that in a tough year like this, that last game is against USC? Because in a sense, it's a 1-game season. It's the game memories are made.
Yeah, it's their bowl game. And so everything that they need to do is wrapped up into one game, 1 weekend. They can make their season with a victory. So it's lay it on the line for 1 weekend against USC.
After playing fairly well, but not well enough the previous week to beat a bowl-bound Navy team, the Notre Dame football team went back to practice to get ready for another triple option team battling for its first bowl bid since 1996, Army. If the Fighting Irish were to have any hope of ending this difficult season on an up note, they had to beat Army in San Antonio. Not only did the Fighting Irish come through with a dominating 44-6 victory, they put together their best all-around performance of the year because everyone on the team did their job.
Today you make a stand. You put your 2 feet down and you say, I am not moving from this spot. There is no other option. None. You're playing a team that will fight you for 4 quarters. You need to match that.
You always want the ball to get in C.J. Sanders' hands. Give him an opportunity.
Sidewinder would be tough to handle. Come on, C.J. Come on, C.J.
With decisive. Decisiveness will make you a good player.
Now they go wide, the Cadets trying to break it. And Notre Dame knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Notre Dame will play with a fury all day. Notre Dame has a first down and a 7-0 lead. Josh Adams in the backfield. Here's a snap to Kaiser. Play fakes and now looks deep. Fires a home run ball. Receivers out there. On target. Touchdown. Notre Dame to Stepherson. One of the best plays of this season. You can't throw the ball better than that. All you gotta do, baby, let's go.
That's too easy.
Good ball, man. Hey, you're spinning it good. Keep trusting it, man. If we do that for 4 quarters, it's gonna be a really fun rest of the day. Okay, let's go. Keep going.
Okay.
All right.
Kaiser looking at Army, possible blitzers. Kaiser takes the snap, looks to throw, fires over the middle. Touchdown! Notre Dame. Right on target to his tight end.
Doing a great job seeing down the field, all right? Good job. Just, hey, leaning back a little bit on it, just finish it.
Notre Dame kicks off left to right.
Now on 3rd and short, and we've got movement. Harder had no gain, so it's now 4th and 2 from the 48.
They're aligning to go for it. We'll see what they do. Here's the snap. Carter keeps. He stopped. Notre Dame takes over the ball. So the Cadets gamble and lose. Julian Love.
And on 3rd and 9, Carter is dropped for a sack. And flashing in is again Martini.
High discipline. Everybody do your job. Do your job.
3rd down now and a long 5, almost 6 for a first down for Army. The quarterback sacked, coming off the edge like a rocket. James Hanwalu, the senior captain. 4th and 11 for the first down. Rolling out is McHugh, looking for a place to go. He fires to the end zone. Intercepted by Notre Dame.
And that's Julian Love with the pick.
4 seconds. Notre Dame's not even going to take the snap. They're going to let the clock run out in a show of sportsmanship. And that will do it. The final score, Notre Dame 44, Army 6.
What stands out to me is guys doing their job. Guys that maybe not got the recognition, but doing their job. We also had sacks coming off the edge. James Onawalu is the new sack master for us. Nice job, James. All 3 units coming together. That's what it takes to win football games. The game ball goes to Deshaun Kaiser.
Win or lose, Senior Day is a very special day for every senior Notre Dame football player. It is the time for the players to look back at the things that make being a student and athlete at Notre Dame an exceptional experience. Last week, a few of the players shared those experiences with Inside Notre Dame Football.
When I think back to Notre Dame football and memories that I have, definitely just going to remember being in the locker room after the game. I think that's such a crucial moment in football, the locker room after the game, because you either won or you lost, but there's so many emotions.
The brothers I've made in that locker room are my best friends for life.
Overall, my best friends, I think, are here, and I think that's something I'll miss, that brotherhood, that camaraderie, which I don't think you can find a lot of places around the country.
I'm really going to miss being able to spend time with a lot of these kids that I've built really good relationships with.
And looking back at the 4 years that I've spent here, it's like a dream come true. Man, if I could go back and talk to freshman year Ben, I just continue to tell him to work hard, man, and just keep your head down and persevere, because it's not an easy journey, as you'll find out, but it's so worth it, man.
Stop, take a look around, realize where you're at, and realize how fortunate you are to be here.
Understand there's going to be ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we're all working together for a collective goal.
Being able to get to know new people and forge friendships that'll last a lifetime is something that definitely can't be replaced, and definitely the best part of being here.
The education I get here at Notre Dame is the platform for me to do anything I want to do. So moving forward, there are many opportunities on the table for all of us coming from Notre Dame, and we just have to make the most of them and remember what we learned here during these 4 years.
To be able to play at one of the finest football programs in the country, let alone get one of the best degrees that any school can offer, it's just been incredible.
There was literally nothing like game day in South Bend, and just getting to experience it from the player side of things. You know, the walk, running out of the tunnel, singing the fight song, just memories that you don't get as an average fan. And to get to experience that for 4 years is just a tremendous experience and something I'm dearly gonna miss.
Favorite all-time movie?
The Dark Knight.
First car you ever drove?
Toyota Sequoia.
Favorite class?
Principles of Management with Chris Stevens.
One thing the public would be surprised to learn about you?
I have a new puppy now, which is great. Her name's Zona.
What is your favorite spot at Notre Dame?
Probably say South Squad.
Thing you hear most often from Coach Hudson in practice?
In practice, just a hey, what are you doing?
Toughest player to tackle on the team?
Josh Adams.
What's better, a sack or an interception?
Interception.
Best singer on the team?
Nick Watkins, apparently.
Best dancer on the team?
Torrey Hunter.
Best dresser on the team?
I want to say myself, but if I can't, it'd probably be Wimbush.
Worst dresser on the team?
I'm sorry, but Sean Crawford.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
The family, the fans, the culture, and the experience.
Cool, Luke, you have completed the 60-second drill in Inside Notre Dame Football.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's time now for the experts at TireRack.com question of the week for Coach Kelly. This week's question comes from Jerry Liss of South Bend. Coach, how does the Notre Dame staff help someone recover from a concussion?
Well, we have a number of different modalities, but I think more than anything else, the constant contact with our doctor, Dr. Leisler, they're talking about sleep as being the number one thing, and making sure that they get that proper rest, and then just monitoring their progress every single day. We have a battery of tests that they have to go through before we begin to re-engage them into activities. But I think it's the hands-on approach that we take with every one of them that probably makes the difference.
Next up for the Irish, the annual showdown with the Trojans of USC. After losing 3 of their first 4 games, the Trojans have won 7 games in a row and have climbed to the number 13 slot in the college football playoff rankings. Why has USC been able to turn things around?
Sam Darnold, the quarterback, is the guy. He has been terrific, and since they've inserted him, Clay Helton's inserted him in the lineup, it's made a huge difference in the way they play. Their defense is playing at a high level. Offensively, they're clicking, and it'll be a great challenge. But it's USC Notre Dame, and our kids are excited about the opportunity to get out there and into battle. No one's expecting us to do anything in this game, so it'll be a fun one to go play.
That will do it for this week's show. We, of course, will be back next week with all the highlights of the 88th meeting between Notre Dame and USC. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airlines, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.